Good morning. Myself, Veena Sarathi, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Sirsi. My dear students, today let us understand the origin and growth of the financial services. Factoring services in India, it is of a recent development. Even now, commercial banks in India are providing the working capital finance. So they are providing the working capital finance by purchasing or by discounting the receivables, allowing the overdraft or cash credit hypothecation of the outstanding book debts, allowing the overdraft or cash credit against the bill sent for collection through the bank. So in this way, the commercial banks in India, they are providing the working capital finance not only now but even prior to that. So in India, the idea of providing the factoring services was first through the Vogel working group. So this group recommended that the banks and the private non-banking finances should be encouraged to provide the factoring services. So therefore, in the year 1988, Reserve Bank of India, it constituted a study group. So the chairman of this group was the Kalyana Sundaram. So this group made a recommendation, and accordingly the Reserve Bank of India amended the Banking Regulation Act in the year 1990 that all the banks should enter the factoring sector. So in the year February 1994, the Reserve Bank of India, it permitted all the banks to enter into the factoring business. And in India, the State Bank of India was the first bank which started the factoring service. So it launched its factoring service from September 1st, 1991 in collaboration with some small industry development bank of India. So a new company called as SBI Factors and Commercial Service Private Limited was started. In the year 1993, the zonal restrictions were removed. In 1994, Reserve Bank of India issued some new regulations for the purpose of supporting the factoring services. And accordingly, in the south, the Canara banks already it set up the Can Factors Limited. Some non-banking companies have also entered into the factoring services, and therefore factoring service in India has made not much progress. So this was the origin and the growth of the financial services in India. Then what were the recommendations on the factoring by the Reserve Bank of India committee? So in the year 1988, Reserve Bank of India, it constituted a study group. As I already told in the origin, so the chairman of this group was Kalyana Sundaram Committee, which was the former managing director of the State Bank of India. So this group, it observed three important points. Firstly, about 64% of the sales of the small scale industries and 50% of the medium and large scale units was through open accounts. Secondly, it observed that average collection period was 90 and 45 days respectively. So thirdly, it initially the demand for factoring emerges from the small scale sector, and later on it was followed by medium and the large scale. So the DFHI should be allowed to refinance and financial units to act as the factors. the price, it recommended that the price should not exceed 1% and for aggregate of all factoring services by 2.5% to 3% of the debt. Then factoring agents were to be set up at the zonal level. So accordingly, in the year 1990, amendment was made to Banking Regulation Act. So based on the strong recommendations of Mr. C.S. Kalyanasundaram study group, the Reserve Bank of India, it amended the Banking Regulation Act in the year 1990, that is to encourage the banks to enter the factoring sector. So some conditions were laid down. So what were the conditions here? Firstly, bank should not directly undertake the business of factoring. That was the first condition. Bank should not directly undertake the business of factoring. Second condition was banks may set up separate subsidiaries or they may invest in factoring companies jointly with the other banks. That was the second condition. Then third condition was a factor subsidiary may undertake factoring, but they should not finance other factoring companies. That was the third condition. Then fourth was bank can invest in the shares of the factoring companies, but to a maximum of 10% of paid up share capital of Reserve Bank of India. So in the year 1994, the Reserve Bank, with a purpose of supporting the factoring services, it issued new regulations. So they stated that banks can enter the factoring departmentally. Again, it laid down the conditions. So what were the conditions here again? First condition was factoring activities should be treated on par with the loans and advances. They should be treated on par. Secondly, the bank's exposure should not exceed 25% of the bank's capital to the individual borrower and 50% to a group of borrower. That was the second condition. Third, factoring should be rendered against some genuine trade transactions. Factoring should be rendered against genuine trade transactions. So therefore, the commercial banks entered the factoring services based on the recommendations and regulations of the Reserve Bank of India. In 1993, the region restrictions have been removed and in India, there are only 4 factoring services or organizations today. So which are those 4 factoring organizations? First one is SBI Factors and Commercial Services Limited. Secondly, Can Bank Factors Limited. Third one is Foremost Factors Limited, which was established in the year 1997 with National Bank of America. Then fourth one, Global Trade Finance Limited, which was jointly promoted by Exim Bank and International Finance Corporation. So I hope students you have understood the origin and the growth of the factoring in India, and at the same time what are the Reserve Bank of India committee recommendations on the factoring. Thank you. We'll meet once again in the next session.